Welcome back to For Humans. I'm Priyam, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to deal with anxiety. The tips that I'm going to be sharing in this video will definitely give you results if you're able to be consistent with it. Consistency is what we need today. So, before we dive into the video, comment below one thing that you have been grateful for. Comment below things that have happened in your life that you're enjoying. And with that, we'll start with our video. So before we dive into the tips, let's talk why anxiety. Why do we have anxiety in the first place? Why do we have such mechanical functions that causes us to be anxious or fearful? And because if we have them, then there has to be a justification for them, or else the process of evolution would be a failure, which we know is not. So let's go back to the time when we had no clothes but leaves, and therefore no shame but appreciation. And people back then knew that there's no such clothing on this planet that can make you look more beautiful than your own naked body. I like adding that quote to my video. So, people back then lived in tribes, they lived in jungles, they had no technology or whatsoever to ensure their safety, other than the amygdala that injected them with fear or anxiety as a reflex towards any possible threat in order to make sure their safety and survival. But then the question is why it did not cause them to be anxious about their future or any other aspect of life. Well, people back then were too tired because of gathering food, water, making shelter, and therefore, instead of overthinking, they slept. And so, this tells us that anxiety is actually not a bad thing, but it's a very crucial function in our body, in our brain, that we don't have a use for in this modern world today. So, how do we deal with it? Well, many researchers have discovered that if you're involved in physical activities like running, exercising, or lifting weights, then you're more likely to be less anxious. But recent researchers have gone really deep and discovered that physical activities that involve your pupil to move horizontally back and forth actually relaxes your amygdala and thus reduces your anxiety. So things like walking, where you're walking and looking around, and things like reading from left to right, right to left, things like writing can be extremely powerful techniques for you to implement and see the results. Especially, I would say writing, and especially writing about your fears and thoughts that are making you anxious. What I do personally is I go with the thought, I live it, I go extreme, and I live in that thought, and thus I get comfortable with it, and that thought no more bothers me. So if you can do this, that would be really great. But it makes you a bit uncomfortable in the initial stage. But if you're willing to go down that road, you will feel a lot more relaxed and a lot less anxious about that particular thought, and you would get rid of that thought forever. Right? You may not get rid of that thought, but you would be more likely be not affecting yourself. With that said, guys, credits of this video goes to one of my friend with whom I had a whole discussion on this topic. Hopefully she's watching it. Anyways, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below what makes you feel anxious, and share it with your friends if anybody needs to hear it. And subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, guys, because we want to make a mental health community out of it, and we want your support. And if you have any specific challenge regarding mental health and you want me to talk about it, you can add me on Instagram, SPRIYAM095, and you can DM me there. And hopefully, if I see that as a major issue amongst humans, then I will be making a video on it. With that said, I'll see you in my next video. Hope you're doing well.